Hello and welcome back to my FPL channel. I am FPL D Unit and today you are here for double game week 25 differentials. Yes, Aston Villa assets are included. Yes, Liverpool assets are still included, even though most people should already have 3 assets, including Arnie Slot or whatever, however you want to make your teams up. You probably should already have them, but I'm here. I've got them in there regardless. I've also covered the other teams that potentially are getting overlooked because of the fact that there is a double game week, and some teams like Bournemouth have amazing fixtures this particular week. So keep that in mind. And if you do like the new graphics that I've come up with, please smash a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, help me grow the channel, and show your appreciation. And let me know in the comments if you actually like the new graphics that I've come up with for this differentials video. I've been hard at work all weekend putting this together, so hopefully you like it. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Hello, and here we are for Game Week 25 differential notes. So being aware of double Game Week 25 for Aston Villa and Liverpool, as well as upcoming blank Game Week 29, which at the moment affects Aston Villa, Liverpool, who will be blanking in Game Week 29. It also affects Crystal Palace and Newcastle, most likely. Newcastle obviously progressed to the FA Cup next round, 5th round, so they are one step closer to ensuring they do get a blank Game Week 29. And Crystal Palace have Doncaster on Monday night, expecting them to win that one as well. So then the probability of this game becoming a blank game week for both of those teams significantly goes up. So look, I've done the differentials a little bit different. I've even covering 2 assistant managers that you should be potentially looking at with table bonus. I'm not looking at managers of 1.5 mil because I just don't think that's the play. And lots of people are going to be on their assistant manager tip. Like myself at the moment, it is currently in play for me. So the goalkeepers at the moment, there actually are starting to become a few more differential goalkeepers. Now, Alisson Becker and Martinez both feature because of the fact that Martinez really isn't under 10% ownership. And normally that's what I would cover. But he's 11 point something or other. And because of the fact that Aston Villa have got the double, I've put him in here. I don't really recommend him, but we'll get into that in a little bit. In terms of the other assets, it's Areola from West Ham. He's now back in the team. It looks really good. And Azza Bragala Kepa from Bournemouth, he looks really good. And Bournemouth do have a very nice looking run of fixtures coming up in over the foreseeable future. In the terms of the defenders, it is Hodgson from Bournemouth. Really good asset here. I think he's definitely number 1 now with the run there coming up. Munoz, Dean, Timber, Canade, Gahey, Castagna, Mikalenko. I don't know where he was in the FA Cup yesterday. Maybe they missed him. That's maybe the way they lost 2-0 to Bournemouth. I'm not sure. Dorgu, I think he's going to actually be a really good asset for Man United. I just want to see him start, but I'm just flagging him. I'm not covering him in great detail today. And Wan-Bissaka also probably should be looked at. West Ham's fixture run does start to turn now, and it does look a little bit more promising moving forward. And hopefully Graham Potter can get a bit of a new manager bounce there. In terms of the midfield, it is dominated by Aston Villa assets. Rashford, I'm very keen to see how he plays tonight. He could definitely come into my team if he starts popping off. And look, if he does a Jesse Lingard, he's 100% coming into my team. Like the fact that he used to play for United, I'm a United fan, and if it works out as well as Jesse Lingard did in the Claret and Blue of a different club, he's in. He's such good value at the price he's at. Marlon obviously is really good at 5.5. He might even start up front depending on whether Watkins gets fit for double game week 25. Fernandes is still in here. He's on penalties. Man United's run of fixtures coming up is actually not that bad. And the fact he's on penalties, that's the reason. And I had Ahmad and Fernandes, and I got rid of Ahmad because Fernandes is on penalties. And I think at some point, Amarin's going to wake up and realise that Fernandes isn't a midfielder, and then he'll put him back in the number 10 role, and Fernandes hopefully will then start making the team score more goals, and hopefully he'll get more stuff himself. Semenyo, Bournemouth, and Dango, or Utara, however you say his name, he's also in here. Matoma from Brighton, he started to come into a bit of a run of form, old Matoma, so we need to start talking about him again. Alanga, Gibbs, White, and Damsgaard. Now, a lot of these players I don't cover in great detail today because I am trying to keep these videos relatively short and concise and just focus on the people that I think are the best assets for that particular week moving forward. That is the plan. If that is something you like, let me know. If you want me to cover more, please also let me know. Forwards, Raul, Havertz, Mateta, Cunha, Ferguson, Delap, Beto, and Strand Larson. So look, without further ado, let's jump into what the actual fixture difficulty rating is saying for the upcoming game weeks. So as we can see here, the 6 teams Bournemouth are really unlucky. I've just accidentally left them out. When I made this graphic, I completely forgot because I saw Brentford, obviously Brentford on the side there, and I got a bit carried away with Aston Villa. because of the fact they're on the double game week. So they made it. Liverpool obviously are in there as well because of the double game week. Fulham also have a fairly decent run of fixtures, as you can see there. Like a lot of greys. It's not that hard, but it does start getting hard after 30. I just think between now and 29, they're playing every week, and I just really like that. And Everton obviously are in there as well. That we don't know how they're going to go against Liverpool. If they get something, it's going to be brilliant, particularly if you already own their assets. But like their run of next 5 fixtures up until game week 30, when most people are going to be wildcarding, does actually look really good on paper. So I just wanted to flag that. Yes, Bournemouth, everyone's aware of Bournemouth's run. But like if you don't own Bournemouth players, you need to go and buy them. I do apologise that they are not on the side because people are definitely going to pick up on that. They should be. Unfortunately, I can only put 6 teams there, and those are the 6 I've gone with. If it wasn't for the double game week, I could guarantee you that Aston Villa wouldn't be there and Bournemouth would be in their place instead. And obviously, Crystal Palace are in a great run of form as well. Ipswich at home and then Southampton away in 28 and 30, either side of the blank. I don't have any Crystal Palace assets, and I think it actually has been killing my team. So, look, I just hope that moving forward, it's not going to continually ruin my season. So let's jump into the managers you should be looking at for this particular game week. So first up, we have Hertzler from Brighton. Now, you're going to wonder, how have you put someone in there that just got spanked 7-0 in the league by Nottingham Forest? Well, because they just played Chelsea in the FA Cup yesterday, and they beat them at home. And they have Chelsea up next, and Chelsea are 4th and Brighton are 10th. So there's table bonus on offer for Hertzler. And then they also have the Southampton away fixture in game week 26. That's not going to have any table bonus, obviously, attached to it. But against Bournemouth, they'll also have that table bonus probably likely available again. So like if you just wanted to play it on one manager, not have to worry about any transfers and weren't interested in any double game weeks, Hertzler's a really good option in game week 25 onwards, 25, 26, 27. Those are the weeks you would have on him. Like there'd be 2 table bonus weeks in there. I just thought it looked really good when I was like researching. So I think that's really good. In terms of Silva, he's only got the 1 shot at table bonus. But look, they went to Newcastle last time out in the league and they won 2-1. And if you could have played the assistant manager on him then instead of the double game week, you would have got 18 points. I think it was 18 or 19 points. 18. It was 16 for the win, 2 for 2 goals they scored. Yeah, 18 points. So again, really good. Pereira obviously did really well for Wolves against Villa as well. But these two have 2 really, I would say, winnable fixtures. Nottingham Forest at home for Fulham, and then Chelsea at home for Hertzler. I just think there's a lot to like there. You can't go too far wrong. So let me know in the comments if there's another manager you're targeting. Obviously, I've talked about Emery and Slot. They'll appear in a different video later in the week. So don't stress. Emery is a really good option as well. I just think if you were going for single game week managers, these are probably the 2 best bets for the table bonus this particular week. So on to the goalkeepers for this week. And look, it is a straight shootout between Martinez of Aston Villa and Alisson Becker from Liverpool. Now, I have Alisson Becker in my team, 9.3% ownership compared to Martinez, who's 11.4% ownership. Now, the stats here really suggest that Alisson is a far better keeper and you're better off paying up 0.5 million more. All you have to do is look at the expected goals conceded per 90, and Alisson, when he's played this season, is 0.74 compared to Martinez's 1.25. Like, it's pretty damn obvious which keeper is better. If you go to the clean sheets, it's 3 clean sheets to Martinez, who's, I think from memory, he's played almost every game except maybe 1 or 2, compared to Alisson, who's missed a fair chunk of the season. He's still already got 7 clean sheets. It's insane. Like, he's more than doubled like Villa. I just feel like Villa are one of them teams that just give away stupid goals. In terms of the bonus points, it's 2 bonus points for the season for Martinez, and Alisson's already on 8, and he's already on 2 for game week 24 prior to the Everton game. So, like, I'm quite happy. The double up in the defence has actually worked quite well. Alisson's, so far, outscoring Gapco and Diaz and all the other popular assets that aren't Salah, and obviously I have Salah anyway. And, like, yeah, if you have a look at the fixtures coming up, they're pretty comparable as well. Like, obviously, Ipswich and Wolves, you'd expect potentially 2 clean sheets there, 1 for each keeper. And then it's Aston Villa against Liverpool. And I really think there'll be goals in both of those games, like for both teams. So it is a bit of a harder one. In terms of the games after that, it's Chelsea at home for Liverpool. And I just think that Chelsea's form is starting to tail off a bit. I feel like potentially that's not as hard a fixture compared to Man City away for Martinez. I would expect Man City to score against Villa. And then obviously Newcastle and Crystal Palace, pretty comparable there. Crystal Palace away from home, Newcastle at home. Both of those teams can score goals on their days. And then obviously you've got to worry about the fact that they're going blank in game week 29. So if you don't already own them, it's a 4-week play, and then you move them out in 29, provided you don't have cover on your bench. Because I have Fabianski, and that's why I'm going to have to eventually make a transfer on Alisson or Fabianski in order to make sure I don't have a blank from my goalkeeper spot in 29. So yeah, those are the goalkeepers this week. There are other goalkeepers in form, obviously, as I mentioned in my notes at the beginning, but these are the two I think most people are going to be drifting towards for this particular game week. So on to the defenders. And look, these are my 4 best defenders for this particular game week. Now, I talked about the Bournemouth assets. They run of fixtures. All we have to do is look at Southampton away, Wolves at home, Brighton and Hove Albion away. The next run of 3 fixtures, and we looked at the FDR before, they haven't got a red fixture for like the next 8 or 9 weeks. It's insane. In terms of Munoz as well, we talked about his fixtures before in Crystal Palace. They've got Everton at home, Fulham away, Aston Villa at home. It's not the easiest 3 weeks in a row. But then they've obviously got Ipswich and Southampton either side of that blank. It's such a I really wish I owned Munoz. Like if I didn't have Trent in my team, I'd probably have Munoz, and potentially that might be something I look at next week, because obviously, as we can see there for Canade, Chelsea at home, Crystal Palace away, it does get a little bit harder for Liverpool. I'm just not sure. I just feel like potentially it's transfers I will make on my defence prior to like game week 29, and I'll just save them up and do all the moves I want to do in that one particular week. I'm not 100% sure. So let's look at, and then obviously Dean's on there as well. So let's break these down individually. So Hodgson's 4.4 million, 7.9% ownership. So lots of people are going to be jumping on him because of the fact that Kirkes is significantly more expensive. I think he's 4.9 or 5 million now. The last time I checked, he's obviously in my team, so I'm not too concerned. And I have been actively weighing up whether to double. I don't like doubling up on defences, but if I was going to double up on a defence, it'd probably be Bournemouth, because Hodgson is really good for bonus points. He's got good goal attacking a friend. Obviously, you can see there, expected goal involvement per 90 minutes is 0.16, which is quite high for a defender. It's actually, and compared on this is actually the third highest of the 4 players I picked. It does beat Canade, though. In terms of expected goals conceded per 90, it's 1.45, which is actually the worst data of these 4 defenders as well, which is insane. But Bournemouth do have that amazing run of fixtures coming up, and they have played all the harder teams already, so it does get significantly easier for them. He's obviously scored 2 goals, he's had no assists, and he's had 5 clean sheets for the season, which is not too bad. For 4.4 million, you can't go too far wrong with that. It's something I definitely like a lot. In terms of Canade, well, his expected goal involvement per 90 when he has been playing and fit and available has been 0.12. His expected goals conceded, though, is the best on this list by a country mile, 0.9 expected goals per 90, in terms of conceding. That's insane. Anything under 1 is really good. So that's probably why you are paying a bit of a premium for him. 5.2 million. He is the most expensive of these 4 players, but he does have the double this week. And if you are worried about Trent and you want to move to another Liverpool defender, this is the one I would be recommending. Not Van Dijk. I just feel like you'd get much to muchness between Canade and Van Dijk. And realistically, it's a play between now and 29. You don't really have to be thinking too long-term about it, so I wouldn't be worrying about it too much. In terms of what he's done this season, he's got 1 goal for the season, 2 assists, and he's had 7 clean sheets, which is joint highest of the 4 players I picked here. There's just a lot to love about Canade and Liverpool and the way they've been defending. They are one of the best defences in the league. I don't know if Arsenal or Liverpool are actually leading that category at the moment, but they're very, very close. I don't own any Arsenal defenders, but I've got 2. I've got the goalkeeper Alisson and I've got Trent in my team from Liverpool. So it says all you need to know. Their defences are really good. In terms of the Munoz, his expected goal involvement per 90 is 0.26, the highest on this list by a fair decent amount. His expected goals conceded per 90 is 1.33. His ownership is 6.8%. He scored 2 goals, 4 assists. Obviously got his assist and a couple of bonus the last time out against Man United and the clean sheet, and got 11 points. 7 clean sheets for the season as well, and he's 4.8 million. He's so much cheaper than Trent. Just FYI, I don't know why I'm just bashing on Trent. I just am. But yeah, Munoz is such a great pick. 6.8%. I can't believe not more people have jumped on him yet. Maybe there's concern about the blank game week. I'm not sure. In comparison, Luca Dean, so his minutes are probably the most at risk out of these 4 players. He's 7% ownership. Obviously, I forgot to say Canade's ownership, 7.2. He's obviously got the double, Ipswich at home, Liverpool at home. He's really got the attacking threat. As you can see there from Villa's clean sheets for the season, he only got 3 clean sheets for the season. Yes, his expected goals conceded per 90 is 1.27, which makes him the second best in terms of that category on this list. But unfortunately, Villa have just been conceding the odd sloppy goal. They're a bit like Chelsea, just conceding the odd sloppy goal, which is no good. In terms of expected goal involvement per 90, it is mainly assist threat. It's 0.19 per 90, which is really good. Like, it's all these players are actually quite attacking in terms of the numbers that they're producing in terms of expected goal involvement. So, look, there's a lot to like there. He's obviously got 0 goals and 4 assists for the season to go with those 3 clean sheets, and he's going to cost you 4.9 mil. The great thing is about this season, so many defenders under 5 mil. It's just such a good year to like have budget defenders. Just a lot to love there, really. Now, in terms of the midfielders, we have 4 really good picks here. And now lots of people are going like, oh, why have you picked some of these players? Well, I did want to focus in on the double game week. And look, Szoboszlai was unlucky not to make the cut. He does look really good. His minutes look pretty nailed at the moment for Liverpool as well. I just think that potentially moving forward, I don't know. I'm not completely sold on him compared to these other assets. And look, a couple of these ones are absolute punts. No word of a lie. But we'll start with the Bournemouth boys. So, Otora, or Dango, however you want to say it, he started on the bench along with Clivert in the FA Cup on the weekend against Everton. Now, I'm not sure why that was. I didn't hear any reasoning. I tried to look it up. I couldn't really find anything. So let me know in the comments if I've just missed that. But in terms of the boys, I think Semenyo is the safest bet. Like, he is definitely the safest bet. 7.4% ownership. I can't believe Clivert's like shooting up towards 20. Semenyo is still sitting there on 5.6 million. Dirt cheap. His expected goals per 90, 0.31. Expected assists per 90, 0.14 for a combined total of 0.45. That's really good for what you're paying. 7 goals for the season and 4 assists. Like, this dude is dominated, like, for his price point. It's just dirt cheap. Like, that's 11 attacking returns. It's almost up there with Bruno and Bowen. We'll get onto them in a second. And look, the fixture's right in front. You've got Southampton straight away from home. They just concede lots of goals. Wolves at home. Their defence isn't the best, particularly when they travel away. And then Brighton away. And they've shown that they can concede 7 goals against Nottingham Forest. There's a lot to like there. At 7.4% ownership. I think he's probably... If I could go back and take my time again and not get Clivert because he's on penalties, I would just go back and get Semenyo. He took the penalty that they won against Everton, by the way. So if Clivert's not on the field, Semenyo is going to be taking those penalties, which is really good news for anyone that's looking to go there as well. In terms of Bruno Fernandes, he's still in my team. And it was between him and Ahmad who went for Clivert. But I got rid of Ahmad because of the fact that Fernandes is still on penalty duties. And I think over the coming weeks, potentially there could be some penalties for Man United. Once Ruben Amorim realises that Bruno Fernandes is actually a 10 and not a midfielder and finds a different solution for that, I think we'll see Fernandes become a lot more popular, particularly with Ipswich coming up in a couple of weeks. And then obviously you've got the Leicester away fixture in blank game week 29. I know they struggled against it in the FA Cup. I think it'll be a bit different away from home. So he's up to 8.9% ownership, so he's dropped quite a bit. His expected goals per 90 is still elite, 0.37 per 90, 0.21 expected assists per 90. So that's a combined total of 0.58. Like, he's still delivering the goods. And obviously he did get the assist for Harry Maguire, FYI, even though it should have been ruled out for offside. Tottenham away, Everton away, Ipswich at home. It's not a bad fixture run. You never know what you're going to get with Tottenham. There could be lots of goals. There might not be. He's got 5 goals for the season and 7 assists, and he's 8.3 million. I just think that's a really good price. For a penalty taker that's literally plays 90 minutes every week for Man United, I'm still quite happy to have him in my team. Now, on to the punts. The next 2 are punts. Like, Marcus Rashford makes it just because of the fact that I believe he's going to do a Jesse Lingard. I just really believe he's going to do a Jesse Lingard. 2.6% ownership. Some people, I don't know if they've just had him in their teams for the start of the season and just forgotten about him, or if people are actively moving for him. I really will know a lot more after tonight's game, and that's the key thing. What happens in tonight's game? Does he start straight away? Is he going to be straight in that team? If he is, I think he's a definite option. Now, these numbers for the season obviously are quite low because he actually hasn't played much football. So he's only got 4 goals and 1 assist for the season, 6.6 million. He's dropped significantly from his starting price. Expected goals per 90 is 0.15 and expected assists per 90 is 0.13, which is 0.28 combined, which is the lowest on this list. But I think released from his shackles at Man United, I expect Marcus Rashford to start dominating. So for me, that's just where I would go with that. And I think potentially moving forward, I can just see that working really well. And then obviously the last one, 2.7% ownership, only owned a little bit more than Marcus Rashford. Now, lots of people probably forgot about this, but Jared Bowen came back in the last game against Chelsea, scored and got 10 points. Now, he scored 6 goals and 6 assists for the season, so he's got the same amount of attacking returns as Bruno Fernandes, and he's obviously missed a good month of football. His expected goals per 90 is 0.26, expected assists per 90 is 0.24, for a combined 0.5 expected goal involvement per 90. That's so good. That's literally an attacking return every 2 games. Really good value for what you're paying. 7.3 million. He's also obviously on penalties for West Ham as well. It has to be said. I think he is anyway, now that he's back in the team. I'm not sure if Paqueta takes him or Bowen takes him. If you're a West Ham fan, let me know. Governor, I know you are. Is Bowen taking penalties, or is Paqueta, if they're both in the team and on the pitch at the same time? I am intrigued to know. I just really like the look of him. He's definitely someone that I have got my eye out for, particularly if Bruno continues to underperform. It could be hello, Mr. One Jared Bowen. So lastly, we are going to jump onto the forwards. And I've got 4 different forwards here. Now, look, there are a couple of ones that you probably should be aware of. Like Cunha looks like a really good option, but they've got Liverpool this week, and I can't recommend someone that's got Liverpool in a double game week, and they're only playing a single game week. So for me, he's a miss this week, but he's definitely probably going to be featuring in one of these boxes next week. I can tell you that much straight off the bat. Now, the first one we're going to start with, Kai Havertz. Now, the fact that Arsenal didn't sign a striker, Martinelli's picked up a bit of injury. I think Havertz is nailed on to be playing 90 minutes every week unless he's sick or he's injured. At 7.9% ownership, he's at a decent price as well, particularly if you're getting rid of Gakpo after the double-doubles. So, look, Leicester away, West Ham at home, Nottingham Forest away. Pretty damn good 3 run of fixtures for an Arsenal attack that does need goals. And you'll think that the man to deliver him is probably Havertz. Now, he's on 0.46 expected goals per 90, 0.08 expected assists per 90, so 0.54 combined. He scored 9 goals for the season, 3 assists, and he's only going to cost you 7.8 mil. There's a lot to love there. In terms of Mateta, now this is a man that I wish that I could have gone back in time and probably changed Jackson to Mateta before he started this amazing run. He is up to 6% ownership now. Like, his ownership's still so low. 0.48 expected goals per 90, 0.08 expected assists per 90. He's now scored 10 goals for the season and 1 assist at 7.3 million. He's good. He's really good. That's all I want to say. He hurt me this game week. I didn't have him, and people playing me in head-to-head had him, and it just destroyed me. And Everton at home, Fulham away, Aston Villa at home, not bad fixtures for him as well. All those teams can concede goals on their day, and Mateta just looks like a man that's in really good form, like a bit like the tail end of last season. It looks like he's got back to that, so I think he's a really good option and very exciting. In terms of the other ones, I've got 2 real budget options in here for you as well. So Raul, obviously 5.6 million. He has been starting still. He obviously was rested in the FA Cup yesterday. He started on the bench. I'm pretty sure I saw Muniz playing when I was watching that game. He's at 8.4% ownership. Still a really good enabler, particularly in the forward line. 0.51 expected goals per 90, 0.09 expected assists per 90 for a combined total of 0.6 expected goal involvement per 90. He's actually the best player in terms of expected data in this list, like quite comfortably, really. He's scored 9 goals and 2 assists for the season. So that's only 1 assist less than Kai Havertz. And he's going to cost you 2.2 million less. Like, he's really good. Nottingham Forest obviously is a difficult fixture this week. I think that really should be read. Their defence is elite. Crystal Palace at home is a pretty good fixture. And then Wolves away. The next 3 for Fulham are actually pretty good. I like them for that particular thing. And let's talk about Beto. This man did not show up on my radar, and then Dominic Calvert-Lewin got himself injured, and they really needed goals, and he came in for the Leicester game at home, scored a brace, 0.8% ownership. I mean, his expected numbers per 90 are actually really good, 0.53 expected goals per 90. It's pretty damn good. It's actually the best on this list, which is insane. He's got no assist threat. He's actually banged 0. That's probably because of the fact he hasn't played very much this season. He's now got 3 goals for the season after that brace, 0 assists. And he's only going to cost you 4.9 million. He is dirt cheap. I don't know if I'd be going there, but look, if you were after and your money was a super tight problem and you wanted to do it for someone else, that's what I would do. So yeah, I just think that that's probably it. Now, that brings us to the end of the differentials. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully it's made your life a little bit easier. Let me know if you've enjoyed the new graphics as well. Hopefully it's made it a lot clearer. And I've literally gone for like just the 4 best picks for every position. Hopefully that's something you've enjoyed. Hopefully it's very readable and enjoyable. Let me know what you think in the comments. Get involved. I will be back for an updated chip strategy either Monday or Tuesday, followed by transfer tips on Wednesday, and then team selection on Friday. That is my plan for the rest of the week. Make sure you tune in for that. I will be here for a deadline stream as well. It is a Friday night deadline, so keep your eyes peeled out for that. Enjoy the FA Cup action this weekend. It's been pretty good. There's been a few shocks, some great games of football. Man United's one was one to forget. But other than that, make sure you like a video before you leave, and please subscribe if you are new. Thanks for watching. That's been Differentials with the D Unit.